Hello happy crocheters, this is Lindsay from windingroadcrochet.com and today I'm going to show you how to make these little sunflowers. These sunflowers can be used on a variety of projects and I will show you several of them at the end of the video. Here you can see I use the sunflowers on a little gnome. And when we do this project I am going to use a slightly lighter brown for the center so you can see better. So I'm using a gold and brown that's called Cafe Latte. This is Red Heart Super Saver worsted weight yarn, category weight 4, medium weight yarn. We're just going to need a few yards of each of these colors. We're going to need a yarn needle, scissors, and a 3.5 millimeter or a size E crochet hook. To get started, I am going to use a magic circle or a magic ring. Mine is a little different. I keep a long yarn in and make a slip knot, insert my hook, take that yarn in and wrap it around my thumb to create a ring. And then I'm simply going to work 10 half double crochets into this ring that I've made. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the ring under 2 strands of yarn, yarn over and pull my first loop through all 3 loops on my hook. I am going to probably have to pinch this right here just to get them through that first half double crochet. Now I just need to make a total of 10 half double crochets in this magic ring. Once you have 10 double crochet worked, half double crochet worked, take your yarn in and pull it tight. That closes up the center of our circle. We will have to weave in that yarn in later. And then we are going to make a slip stitch to the first half double crochet, but during this slip stitch I am also going to change my yarn colors. So I'm just going to yarn over with the yellow, pull that through the stitch and through the loop on my hook, and then just go back and tighten up that back loop. We're not going to fasten off on the brown yet because we are going to use it for row 3, but now we can continue round 2 with our gold yarn. We're going to start by slip stitching to the first stitch in the back loop only. This is the beginning of us working our first petal, so we'll start the petal by slip stitching to the back loop only of the stitch. Then we are going to chain 5, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to skip 2 chains, and in that 3rd chain we're going to work a slip stitch. I'm working in the back bumps, but you can also work into the side of the chain. Both are fine. In the last 2 chains, we are going to work a double crochet. So a double crochet in the next chain, and then we're going to double crochet in the following chain. So our flower petal consists of a slip stitch and 2 double crochets worked into the chain that we created. To finish the petal, we are going to slip stitch to the exact same stitch as the first slip stitch. So the whole repeat is worked into a single stitch of brown. For our next petal, we're just going to repeat this. So find the next brown stitch, working in the back loop only. We're going to work a slip stitch. We're going to chain 5, 3, 4, and 5. Skip 2 stitches and slip stitch to the 3rd chain. Double crochet in the next chain. And then double crochet into the following chain. Now we're going to slip stitch to the same stitch as the very first slip stitch. That kind of curves our petals a little bit. Now you're just going to repeat this process in every stitch around to get a total of 10 petals. Here I have my 10 petals, and I've already worked my last slip stitch, so all we need to do now is fasten off. For round 3, we are just going to work a set of surface slip stitches. To do this, just insert your hook into the back loop only of a stitch from round 1, yarn over with the brown and pull that through the stitch, go into the next stitch and push your hook from the front to the back, yarn over again with your working yarn and pull that through, pull the first stitch to the second stitch on your hook. That is a surface slip stitch. Now we're just going to go into the next stitch and repeat the process. These surface slip stitches will help hide the little holes that have been created by making our petals. And we are just going to repeat this process all the way around. When you get all the way around, you can just fasten off your brown yarn, pull the loop all the way through the flower, insert your hook from the back to the front, somewhere along that surface slip stitch line, yarn over and pull your yarn into the back. And now your sunflower is done. You can use your yarn ends to sew it onto a different project or weave them in. To make the petals lay a little flatter and nicer, you can get the whole project wet, wring it out, lay it down and shape the project and allow it to dry, and that will allow the petals to hold their shape better. So let's take a look at some of the projects we could use this little flower for. So I use my little mini elements that I have been sharing on video tutorials for several different projects. You can take them and tuck them into a wreath to add a little extra detail. You can add them to an ear warmer. You can add them to a decorative belt. I did that with the pumpkins, but the sunflowers would look lovely as well. You can add bobby pins to each piece and tuck them in your hair for a fun fall look. Or these are perfectly designed and sized to go on top of my gnome patterns. So I really hope you enjoyed this pattern. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching.